We're officially in a heat wave, or canicule as it's called in France, declared from midday today. And the temperature at the moment is, I've moved the temperature gauge, is 27.9 outside. And it's supposed to be 35, so I don't think the temperature gauge is working out there. And it's going to be 36 by 7 o'clock. But the worst part is that at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's still going to be 26. And it's not going to get lower. By 6 o'clock in the morning, it'll be 23, and it's not going to get lower than that. And then the temperature's going to rise again. I really don't like it. It's not. It did not occur to me when we were moving to France. Stupid, I know, but it did not occur to me. And I've said it before that had I thought it through, we might have settled ourselves further north than here. But there were lots of other reasons that we ended up in this area, and I don't think we were having the heat waves as we have them now. Although we arrived in 2006, we arrived in a heat wave. I don't remember the actual how it was on the day the lorry unpacked, and we had half our belongings delivered because we went into rented for the first 3 months. We had half our belongings delivered, so we sat amongst boxes and just could not unpack. It was just too hot, and we went out and bought, I think on day 2 we went out and bought an aircon machine, a portable aircon machine, and which we still have and still use down here. We don't need it yet down here. And within hours of that running, we were able to start unpacking. So it's amazing. There was a canicule, there was a heat wave over the whole of Europe in 2003, I think. I've got to go right back to that, yeah, 2003. And I was just looking at the consequences of that. There were, in France, there were, from various sources, an estimate of 15,000 deaths during that heat wave. And predominantly that would be older, vulnerable people that weren't able to, are probably not able to really care for themselves normally. So, you know, if they're awaiting somebody to come in and provide them with food and sort their drinks out and do all of that, they would be the sort of people that would have died. I don't know whether it was that year, but I know there was something happened. I don't know whether it was a law that passed that meant that all of the first line responders, like nurses and carers and all of that, and doctors, will have to stagger their holidays rather than everybody going up sticks and going off in August. I'm not sure if it was then or whether it was after we arrived. I can't find it, and I'm remembering it. That, you know, that people still need care, and in particularly in this weather, people still need care. So all of those people that provide that sort of care now have to have staggered holidays, so not everybody's gone in August. Having said that, we get canicules in different months anyway, but yeah, so it's not nice. I'm sitting in, I'm behind the shutters are closed. I'm choosing not to go out, although I did just go to the post box and wish I hadn't, because the last time I went out, it's now 2:30, I went out at around 9:30 to sort out the chickens, and haven't been out since. And the next time I go out will be to sort out chickens when we put them back at 9 o'clock tonight, when the temperature will still be, what will it be tonight at 9 o'clock? $33. Horrible. And we've got this for at least, so we've got temperatures of 36 for 3 days, although from tomorrow, Tuesday, the nighttime temperature will be a bit lower. will be 23 as opposed to 29. The same Wednesday, 35.23, and Thursday will be 31.22, and then by Friday we'll be down to 28.19, which will be more bearable for me. So I've got a few days sitting here. Jo was here yesterday for dinner. I fed her so she'd sort the fire stick out for me. I'd installed it. I had jailbroken it. She was a bit impressed that I'd done all of that without her help, and I just needed a bit more help. It's still a bit iffy. It's quite random because you're looking at stuff that's been uploaded by other people. One of the random things is that you start playing something and it's muted, and you have to go down the screen like you would on YouTube to find the button to unmute it. Struggled with that. Mark was most impressed yesterday because Hill Street Blues is on there. I tried to play it this morning just to get it up and running this morning, but I couldn't get it unmuted. I might try that because he's not here at the moment. He has gone up to our neighbour to deliver back the keys after having the cats, looking after the cats for longer than I felt comfortable with. He was away taking care of the needs of a friend whose wife is very ill or dying. So we were happy to play our part and look after the cats. But he was away for 9 days, and that's too long for the cats to be closed in. They're closed into a very big area. It's, you know, it's plenty of room, but they just can't get out. And I know that lots of people keep indoor cats. They were probably fine, but I just wouldn't be happy to be doing that again for that length of time. It seems unfair to me. So that's what's going on. I'm staying in. I was devastated 2 days ago to see, or was it 3 days ago, to see the awful wildfire that has swept through Jasper. It's so sad, so sad. You know, it's just shocking to think of all those people losing all of their worldly goods, losing their livelihoods. I've looked at the map. The map is really weird. I'm going to pause you. I find it astonishing that the fire in red is the properties that were destroyed, and in green are the properties that remain standing. It's sort of patchy, and I don't understand how that will have happened. I'm sure that the topography will have created that. I'm going to let go of you. I'm trying to stop you from wavering, but particularly down here. So it's like the fire swept down here and taken away either side. But here, how did all this get taken out, and all of this and not this? It's really weird. So yeah, horrible to see that, and I mean, it's horrible to see the devastation from wildfires anyway, but I was in Jasper 18 months ago, and so I feel like I know it a bit. I wasn't there, I was outside Jasper. We came through it on the train, and then we drove back into and stayed just on the edges of Jasper, somewhere, I can't remember the name of it now. Yeah, so that's a shame, and I hope that they manage to rebuild and people can get back to their lives. And I hope, and I'm assuming, that people that live in the type of town that Jasper is and along that national park. When we came over along on the train, I noticed lots of trailers and not caravans, but big trailer caravans parked near houses or on driveways or whatever, and it looked to me like people are always ready to flee, which must be a horrible way to live. But I made assumptions that because there were wildfires going on when we were travelling, that people were prepared and had all their important items in their trailers, ready to go. I'm hopeful that that's how it would be. So yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, so meanwhile, I'll stay behind my shutters and sit it out and see if I can get Hill Street Blues working for Mark with sound. What else did we find on there? We found 6 Feet Under. We found, what else have we got? Oh, In Treatment. I loved that. Really enjoyed that. I think it was only 1 season. Really old series. So In Treatment, Hill Street Blues, 6 Feet Under, and then he sat last night and watched June, and one of the new version of June, and he's got a part 2 to watch. I sat over the weekend and watched Gladiator for the 100th time. I talked the other day about not liking violence, and I don't, but for me, Gladiator has some nostalgia attached to it because we watched that before we were together. We went and saw that at the cinema. I'm sure we saw it at the cinema and then watched it. Took his mum and her partner to the cinema to watch it. I can't remember, but watched it several times with Mark. So it reminds me of the time just before we got together. So that's why I watched that. But yes, it was incredibly violent. So that's it really. Anyway, thanks for watching. And hopefully you can't see me cutting out the bit that I cut out where I get heated about Trump. Bye.